Hi everyone, welcome to TCM Talk. I'm Kirsten Cowan. I'm a licensed acupuncturist and herbalist here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm also the creator of Angelica and Peony, Natural Radiant Health and Beauty.
And I'm Denise, licensed acupuncturist and Chinese herbalist in the San Francisco area, working in San Francisco and Alameda, California. And welcome to TCM Talk.
Welcome to our special spring edition of TCM Talk for 2017. We're excited to be starting a new kind of project here with TCM Talk and what we want to do this year. Denise, you want to share with folks what we're going to be doing with TCM Talk this year?
Absolutely. So the first thing is we're going to talk about each season, each Chinese element, and each organ system as it pertains to that particular season, and you'll hear more about the wood elements in a few minutes because it's springtime. And we're going to talk about how it can help you in your activism throughout the entire year and give you tips on how to use Chinese medicine to help you take care of yourself as well during the course of the year. And we're also going to have other short videos about the self-care stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Even before we were healers, both Denise and I are longtime social justice advocates, especially in regards to health-related issues. We're both living in the United States right now, feel really strongly that we want to help keep our communities and everyone who's working to make this country and this world a better place, healthy and happy and whole during this time and during that process. So this is our little contribution to giving some understanding to the energetics of the year as we travel through it from our training as practitioners of traditional Chinese medicine, and also some really focused how-tos on how to take care of yourself with good sleep, good eating, good movement, good connections, and keeping yourself feeling good and strong head to toe.
Thank you. So we're going to get started now and talk about the wood element. And this is the energy of the springtime. It's energy associated with the liver and the gallbladder. And the spirit of the wood element is called the Hun, and we'll get to more of that in a few minutes. But to just describe the energy of the wood element to begin with, the energy of the wood element is what got us here today to film this video. It was the planning that went into what we're going to talk about today. So planning and moving forward, moving in a direction. In this case, it's towards the camera here to videotape us for this TCM Talk episode. And it's about showing who you are. And that's the basic energy of the wood element right there. As far as its relation to the springtime, it's the energy that's in shoots and sprouts and weeds growing through the cracks in the sidewalk that says, I'm here. And it's about asserting who you are in the world. And certainly that applies to lots of the demonstrations and marches we've seen early this year. It doesn't mean that you can't be involved with them later on in the year when it's not the springtime, but take advantage of that energy now to use that to say, this is who I am in the world, and this is what I stand up for. And the energy of the wood element is also about seeking justice. And so it all goes along with the purpose of activism, I think. And I want to stress that activism can take advantage of the wood element's energy in different forms. If you're not an organizer, it's okay. It doesn't mean that the wood element doesn't apply to you. The energy of the wood element helps us to plan stuff, as I was saying earlier, plan events, plan marches, plan demonstrations, but it's also planning what your activism is going to look like for you this week, this month, this year. It's the motivation to get up off your couch and do something. It's the motivation to make phone calls to your government officials. And it's the inspiration. It's the spark of inspiration to do all these things, and that's the energy of the Hun and the wood element. And I want to say that there's no judgment from us what kind of activism you engage in, from pressing send on an email or signing a petition either online or in person, to going out to marches and to organizing something. Whatever your strength is, you can harness the energy of the wood element to help you with that. The emotion associated with the wood element is anger. And anger doesn't always have to be a bad thing. When we talk about anger, we also talk about healthy aggression. Healthy aggression is sort of the good side of anger. It's, as I was talking about before, the energy to say, I'm here, and this is who I am. It's standing up for who you are and your place in this world, in this country.
I'm thinking, Denise, about those time-lapse photos of a seed sprouting, and the seed itself rips open as the little sprout pushes its way through, kind of exerts itself with this healthy force, that kind of healthy aggression that you're talking about, or a chick bursting out of an egg. There's a kind of a push that's required to get us to the next stage of our growth. That it seems like you're talking about with the wood element.
Absolutely. That's a really great way to describe it. And think about those images when you think about the motivation to push yourself forward. There is a directionality with the wood element. It wants to move. It wants to move forward. It wants to move unimpeded. There is a Chinese herbal formula called Qiaoyao San, free and easy wanderer. And that concept of free and easy wandering is going through life on your path without hitting obstacles. Or if you find an obstacle, you go around it. You find a way around it, and not try to ram your way through the obstacle. And that's the idea of how the wood element wants to move. Now, you may get stuck. You may get stuck in your travels, in your activism. You may get stuck like you would in a traffic jam, for example. You might get stuck and then get angry. You also might lose sleep over stuff, especially if you're having trouble between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. in the morning, and I'm sure that Kirsten will touch more on that in her section on sleep later. Those are the times associated with the liver and the gallbladder, which are the organs associated with the wood element. And so if you're having issues with stress and sleep issues, especially falling asleep, if you're having issues with anger, holding tension in your body, like TMJ, or if your shoulders are in your ears all the time, you can't get them down. Acupuncture and Chinese medicine can help with some of these issues. You don't have to be stuck all the time. There's two ways of looking at the energy associated with the liver and the gallbladder and the wood elements that they're associated with. Is the energy gets stuck, or there's not enough energy to make them move. And sometimes if there's not enough energy to make them move, that also means that you get stuck. And your acupuncturist and Chinese herbalist will be able to decide which of those spectrum you fall into, which category you fall into, either that you need to have a boost to your wood element, and or if you also need to have your wood element moved. And those are the basic two ways we talk about healing in the wood element.
One of the great self-diagnosis methods that I like to let people know about is asking how you feel after exercise or any kind of movement. If after you exercise you feel more tired, you feel depleted, that's a good indication that your energy level is just low in general and you need to build up and boost up. If after you move a little bit you feel energized, energized by exercise, then that's more that blockage type, as Denise was talking about, the traffic jam. Once a little bit of movement starts, then the traffic can really flow once the blockage is moved a little bit. So that's a great way to kind of get a little bit of insight into yourself in terms of what's my energy doing, how much do I have, what can I see about what's going on inside me energetically.
Great, thank you. That is a really good way to describe it. Other ways that stuck energy in the wood element can be expressed that I want to mention is you can also have stomach problems. There is a concept of the wood element overacting on the earth elements, which we don't have to really get into detail here too much, but basically if stress is causing you to have digestive issues, number one, don't look at the news or talk about the news when you're eating. Talk about if you're having a meal with somebody else, talk about happy things, and you'll be surprised how much easier your digestion will be. So that's one way to help your digestion as it pertains to the wood element. Headaches are another way that stuck energy or depleted energy in the wood element will manifest itself. So if you're having headaches, consider that might be one of the ways to think about energy in the wood element. And
headaches in the wood element, I would add, is the gallbladder channel, which is associated with the liver and the wood element. This is part of the Chinese energetic framework that we use to understand what's going on inside the body. Runs up the back of the shoulders and then up onto the side of the head. So getting a lot of these side headaches or tension headaches, it's kind of a direct connection between, as Denise was saying earlier, you're carrying your shoulders up by your ears because of the stress and tension that you might be feeling from unexpressed anger and frustration building up inside of your, building up in the wood element in your body, and that overflows into the meridians, the acupuncture meridians that run on the side of the head, giving you with a throbbing tension headache as we understand it. So this is where some massage, relaxation of the neck and shoulders can be really helpful for that kind of headache.
That's great, thank you. And headaches on top of the head as well can also be associated with the liver in Chinese medicine. And we'll talk about other kinds of headaches in other videos.
Stay tuned for a special headache video.
I think that's about to come up sometime soon. So to sum up, the wood element is really about showing who you are in the world. I always think about at queer pride marches, we're here, we're queer, right? That's about asserting who you are in the world. But whatever your cause is, that's how you express the wood element, by saying, I care about this issue, this is who I am, and that's how you express who you are in the world. It's about seeking justice for a cause, for people, for ideas, and taking the idea and then moving it into action. How you take a dream or an idea and plan it out and then make it into a reality. That's kind of the summary of how the wood element works for helping activists. And stay tuned for our next video.
Thanks, everyone. You can learn more about everything that we talk about on TCM Talk by viewing archives of our episodes on our YouTube channel, bit.ly/TCM Talk vids. And you can find pins of everything we discuss and more resources for the topics that we cover on our Pinterest board, pinterest.com/TCM Talk. You can find more about my work on my website, angelicaandpeony.com.
And you can find more about my work on my website, chiquitoacupuncture.com. we'll spell out for you on the video later.
We welcome your questions. If there's something you'd like us to talk about, or you have questions about traditional Chinese medicine and holistic medicine, please hit us up on social media or email us traditionalchinesemedicinetalk@gmail.com. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.